And that's putting it politely. I think I've told the story here a couple times about setting my neighbor's yard on fire and other shenanigans. But the thing that annoys me the most is my dad always assuming that it was my fault. Now, statistically speaking, he was right, but not always. And it hurts, when you look to someone and you've been kicked out of the Capitol building on a Boy Scout trip, that they take your side just once. Also, FYI, C-SPAN is just as boring in person, and if you fall asleep and start snoring, it will escort you out. Good to remember. But yeah, my dad never took my side. We never got along. We fought constantly. When I was 16, he kicked me out of the house, and so I spent 3 days at my friend's house until my mom called and yelled at me, where the fuck have you been? And I'm like, well, Dad kicked me out. You know how he gets. Just ignore him, like you usually do. Okay. And so a year later, I moved out on my own, not without being asked. But I was still in high school. I was 17 years old. And at this point, I'm about to graduate. I'm living on my own. I'm working a job. And they have to call your dad into the school because I'm being suspended. And I'm like, great, this is going to go over really well. Now, here's what happened. And I just want to preface by saying I love teachers. All teachers, I respect them. I'm dating a teacher, hats off to them. I could not do what they do, mad respect. That said, my computer teacher, not so much. So the class that I was in was called Surfing the Web. And it was how to use things like Alta Vista and Metacrawler and Dog Pound. All the great search engines that we know and love today. And at this point, I'd already built my own computers. I figured out how to hack systems. It was pretty much, I just needed the credit. And I finished my assignment, and I'm sitting there playing Jazz Ball. I don't know if you guys remember that one? Part of the Windows Entertainment Classic games, no? Fantastic. Anyway, I have to go to the bathroom. So I go up and I ask the teacher, can I have the hall pass? And he pulls down this framed newspaper article from the local paper that said, Supreme Court gives teachers the right to deny students access to the bathroom. Okay. The fact that not only did he love this so much, he felt the need to frame it and hang it, kind of on a power trip. But this guy also had an issue where if you knew anything about computers, you were instantly a hacker. Like my buddy Josh had gotten detention for hacking the printer when it jammed. Anybody who's ever used a printer doesn't require hacking to jam. Just use it. But I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm already done with my assignment. There's no point. I'm sitting there playing games. So I'm like, all right, I won't take the hall pass. And I just left. Went to the bathroom, came right back. Now, at this point, he's like, you have detention. And I'm like, well, I can't tonight. I have a job. And it goes back and forth. And then finally, I'm like, dude, why are you being such a dick? This is what I was in trouble for. And so they called my father in, and I'm sitting there listening to the principal tell the story to my father about why I was suspended, waiting for my dad to get mad at me, when out of his mouth comes the most magical words I've ever heard him utter. I'm sorry, but this teacher sounds like a real dick. To which I could only reply, that's what I said. So I got suspended 3 days. That's fine. But better than that, my dad took my side once, and I will be forever grateful, and it was worth getting suspended.